So today we're diving into a gem from the early 70s, the AMC Gremlin. Now, if you want to talk about cars that have garnered a bit of a cult following, this one's definitely up there. The Gremlin hit the market in 1970 as American Motors Corporation's audacious answer to the influx of compact imports flooding American streets. Let's start with what lies under the hood. The AMC Gremlin typically came with a 3.3-liter inline-six engine with an initial output of 128 horsepower and 154 pound-feet of torque. For its time, that put it in a respectable spot for a compact car capable of keeping up with daily driving needs without much fuss. There was also an optional 5.0-liter V8 engine if you wanted a bit more spirited driving. This V8 could push your experience up to around 150 horsepower, which, while not outrageous by today's standards, offered a significant punch back then. As for performance, the Gremlin wasn't exactly built to leave competitors in the dust, but it was nimble and light enough to make city driving a breeze. It had a 4-speed manual transmission, or a 3-speed automatic if you preferred a bit less driver engagement. The 0 to 60 times weren't going to win many drag races, clocking in around 12.6 seconds for the base model. But remember, this car was built during a time when practicality was just as valued as performance. But it's really the story and quirks that give the Gremlin its unique character. Designed under the leadership of AMC's stylist, Richard Teague, the car was intended to be a bold response to the wave of smaller, fuel-efficient models coming out of Europe and Japan. The project was so secretive that Teague sketched the initial design concepts on an air sickness bag during a flight. One of the most interesting aspects of the Gremlin was its design. With a blunt, snub-nosed front end and a hatchback rear that was abruptly cut off, it looked like nothing else on the road, kind of like someone took a pencil and erased the rear end of a standard car. This peculiar design earned it as many critics as it did fans, but there's no denying it stood out in a crowded marketplace. Inside, the Gremlin was fairly simple but functional. It featured high-back bucket seats and a relatively straightforward dashboard. Optional extras included an AM radio, air conditioning, and even a Levi's denim interior, which added a touch of American pop culture to your ride. The AMC Gremlin also holds a special place in pop culture, making appearances in movies like Wayne's World 2 and TV shows like That 70s Show. Its quirky design has made it a nostalgic favorite for classic car enthusiasts and collectors alike. At the end of the day, the AMC Gremlin is a fascinating piece of automotive history. It's a car that dared to be different at a time when the market was quickly evolving. Sure, it might not win any races or awards for refinement, but isn't that quirky, daring spirit part of what makes classic cars so captivating?